Hello friends and welcome back. Today we will learn about depth of field. As the name suggests, it is how we capture the depth of field in your videos. There are two types of depth of fields: shallow depth and deep depth of field. Depending on the camera, if you keep the focus on the subject and change the aperture value, you can achieve the shallow or deep depth of field. Let's take an example to understand it better. Here you see many cars parked, and currently they are all in focus with a little blur in the rear side cars. Now only the first white car is in focus and the rest of the cars are blurred out, giving us a shallow depth of field. Meaning we have narrowed the depth of field by limiting the focus to a particular area and making the rest blurred out. Keeping the same aperture value, we change the focus from white car to the second car. As we did not change the aperture value, which means the depth of field remains the same, only the focus is shifted. Now the blue car is in focus with the same aperture value, which means we get front and background blur while the focus area is still clear. The same is for the white car now. Let me run again if you did not notice that. Here only the white car is in focus, keeping the shallow depth of field. Now gray, blue, white. Now only a couple of cars in the background are a little blurred out. The entire image seems clear. We have a deep depth of field now, meaning we have broadened the depth of field and more things are visible. Now how to achieve the depth of field? It depends on the camera lens, but little or more depth of field can be achieved on most video cameras. The focus is on the third blue car. We just adjust the aperture to achieve shallow and deep depth of field. If the camera aperture is wide open and the value is low like 1.4, then we can achieve shallow depth of field in a very small area. If we increase the aperture, or you can call f-stop, to somewhere around 4, then the shallow depth of field is achieved and the focus area is increased. If we further increase the aperture value to let's say 11, then the depth of field is achieved but the focus area is increased. And if we increase the aperture value to around 22, then the shallow depth of field is lost and we have the deep depth of field. Shallow depth of field is a cinematic effect. By using the shallow depth of field, you bring the focus to a point and engage the viewers to a particular area. We learn more about shallow depth of field in the advanced section when we shoot videos with professional cameras, and I'm sure you will have a better understanding and you will master it. So I hope the depth of field is clear to you now, and you know what a shallow depth of field and a deep depth of field is. And next time when you make a video or take a picture, you will keep the depth of field in mind. That is all for the time in depth of field. I'll see you tomorrow with a new lesson. Good luck and have fun.